Alter Bridge's opening tracks are among the best in all of rock music, but some of them are better than others. So today we're ranking every Alter Bridge album opener from worst to best. The first track on any record is arguably the most important song on that record, since it sets the pace for the rest of the album. For this list, I'll be considering the individual merits of each song in addition to how it sets up the rest of its respective album. With that said, let's start off with number 6. Bottom spot on this list goes to One Life from Alter Bridge's most recent album, Walk the Sky. It could be considered unfair to even compare this song to others on this list since it's only 83 seconds long, but I'm still gonna include it. One Life serves one specific purpose: to set the tone for this album and introduce the next song on the record, Wouldn't You Rather. If that's all you take into account, this song accomplishes its goal with flying colors. The ethereal instrumentals demonstrate Walk the Sky's influence from old school synthwave, and Myles' breathy vocals quickly draw you into the song. However, the song doesn't stand on its own at all. I can guarantee that people only listen to it if they want to listen to the album from top to bottom to get the full experience. It's like the opening credits of a James Bond movie. It's a cool demonstration that establishes the mood and foreshadows what to come, but it has no bearing on the rest of the story. It's just something you sit through and enjoy once or twice because it's part of the experience. One Life is not meant to be listened to as a standalone song, and that's fine. It serves a singular purpose on this album and it accomplishes its goal, but it has no place outside of the record. No one will blame you if you skip this song every time it comes up or even forget it exists. When compared with what's to come, you're not missing out on much. Taking the 5th spot on this list is Slip to the Void from AB3. This was my very first Alter Bridge album, but for nearly a decade, I had no idea this song was the opening track. Now, years later, I don't often find myself listening to songs from AB3, and as a result, this song slips into the void. It has a few distinct flaws that hold it back for me, but before we get into those, let's talk about the song's strengths. In the beginning, Myles' quiet, ominous vocals mixed in with Mark's guitar panning from left to right is very impressive, and it really lures you into the track immediately. Additionally, this song does an excellent job at establishing the record's style and mood. AB3 is notably darker than previous releases, and this is apparent from the get-go. However, despite the song drawing you in with its mysterious intro, it doesn't hold my attention like other songs on this list. Once the full band comes in and the song really kicks off, I start to lose interest. The first part of the song is creepy, introspective, and unique, but then the second half is loud and shouty and a little off-putting for me. The beginning is the most interesting part of the song, and so I usually only listen to that first chunk whenever I'm in the mood for it. It's never a good sign if you consistently abandon a track halfway through, but unfortunately, that's what happens for me with Slip to the Void. For that reason, it finds itself in number 5 on this list. Up next is Ties That Bind from Alter Bridge's sophomore release, Blackbird. This song is like the opposite of One Life. It's a great standalone track, but it struggles to set up its record. Ties That Bind is frantic and gritty, which has its pros and cons. The song is just under 3 minutes and 20 seconds, so it feels like it's over almost as soon as it starts. I think it would have benefited from being slightly longer, either through an extended intro or maybe an extra guitar solo after the bridge. Regardless, the ending solo that we do get is awesome, and this song has one of Scott Phillips' more brutal drum parts. When I first started listening to Alter Bridge, this was one of my favorite songs and one of the first tracks that I attempted to cover on drum set. It didn't go very well, but now as I've grown older, it's kind of lost its charm. I like how the song eases you into the main riff, which is complicated as hell, by the way, but it doesn't feel like a true opening statement for an album. I expect album openers to knock me off my feet and grab my attention like a vice grip, but Ties That Bind just doesn't do that. Though I can't lay all of the blame on the song alone. Blackbird as a record is stylistically all over the place, and it's obvious that the band was only just starting to get comfortable together when writing this album. I won't go into it too much in this video, but if you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on Blackbird or other Alter Bridge records as a whole, let me know in the comments. Taking the next spot on this list is Find the Real from Alter Bridge's debut album, One Day Remains. While it may not have been their first song ever written, this is essentially Alter Bridge's first song. and man, is it a bold statement. I love Mark's bluesy, grungy riff, and Scott's drumming on this song is so loose and relaxed while also being strong and driving. Myles sounds like he's trying to exude pure testosterone, and I'm all for it. His raspy belt at the end of the last chorus is freaking epic, and it lets you know early on that this band is not messing around. This song shines a spotlight on every member of the band evenly, so new listeners have a solid foundation for what to expect from each member. However, it doesn't do justice to the songs that follow it. And that's the biggest flaw for Find the Real. It sets up the album's sound well, but it is underwhelming compared to what comes next. Some of Alter Bridge's most popular songs come from this album, and unfortunately it just pales in comparison to the likes of Open Your Eyes, In Loving Memory, and Metalingus. Find the Real unfortunately suffers the curse of being a good song followed by several great songs. It's still a good standalone track and a great introduction to Alter Bridge's first record. The runner-up for this list goes to the song Show Me a Leader from The Last Hero. This has got to be one of my all-time favorite songs, and not just by Alter Bridge. Not only is it energetic and just loads of fun, everyone in the band gets a chance to show off their incredible skills. Since this album was written more than a decade after their first release, the members are so much more polished and artistic, and it really shows. Mark's guitar solo is phenomenal, and this song also holds some of my favorite lyrics and vocal performance from Myles. Everything about this song is fantastic on its own, but it's even better when you put it in context with the rest of the album. Like earlier tracks on this list, the song lures you in with a mysterious guitar riff, but unlike the others, it builds upon that idea increasingly until you're hooked into the song and there's just no turning back. The whole album is intense and powerful, which is made clear within seconds of the song starting. In addition, the song also establishes some of the album's lyrical themes, so you have an idea of what to expect from that too. Listen to the opening lines. Well, they're selling another Messiah here tonight, but we're all way too numb and divided to buy it. Clearly, this is some socio-political commentary, and there's a lot more of that to come on The Last Hero. All around, this is a great song and a dramatic introduction to an awesome album, but it doesn't quite surpass the #1 song on this list. But before we move on to that song, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up down below. It helps spread the video to a lot more people who might also enjoy it, and I appreciate it a lot. Okay, hands down, the best album opener ever written by Alter Bridge is Cry of Achilles from their 4th album, Fortress. There is only one word that can accurately describe this song: epic. Just like the last song, it starts out with a spooky guitar intro, but this time it's fingerpicked on acoustic guitar, so it immediately catches your attention. As the introduction develops, it just gets even more ominous, like there's this impending doom coming. But then on the flip side, the chorus is bright and inspiring. This song takes you through so many different emotions across its 6.5-minute runtime, and that's what gives it the edge above all of the others. There may not be any distinct story associated with the lyrics, but it really feels like it. The music perfectly illustrates a heroic venture or a violent battle on the same level as some of history's best composers. And this is important because many songs on Fortress are also equally grand or epic, so if this song doesn't properly set the stage for them, it would be a huge disappointment. It has to hold up to songs like Addicted to Pain, Calm the Fire, Waters Rising, and the amazing closing song Fortress, which it undoubtedly manages to do. The criteria of consideration for this list were each song's individual quality as well as their proficiency at introducing their respective albums, and Cry of Achilles executes in both areas with flawless accuracy, earning it the #1 spot on this list. If you're a fan of Alter Bridge, then you'll probably also like lead guitarist Mark Tremonti's side project, Tremonti. They've released 5 albums with tons of great songs, like the ones in this video where I ranked Tremonti's album title tracks from worst to best. Go check out that video next, and I'll see you later.